Yeah, we're experimenting with other ideas. There's one that I also like. We call it round trip, and it's taking you through every position of the chair, and you just kind of travel through all of those. So left and right, lean, stand, sit, and you can do that too. So it's kind of all personal preference, and you have to experiment a little bit to try it. All right, and so that's the demo. Again, if you have questions, send them in, and we're happy to share more about it and take it from there. Okay, and I just see that we're now streaming on YouTube. I think there'll be a recording, so people will have the chair demo and all of that as well. So we'll have that.
Yeah, maybe should we do a brief video for the people on YouTube, a brief video demo, chair demo, or?
Yeah, I'd be happy. Maybe I do the short version. I could run through that again.
Yeah, let's see if that's.
Yeah, well, while we're waiting for the questions to come in. So the onboarding and learning to use our chair.
Okay, listen.
Okay.
Yeah, quick demo.
We'll do the quick one.
Yeah.
Right. So chair's really easy to kind of get started with. You got your desk, your standing desk. You'll set it once to a good height. Kind of 90-degree arms is the right level. The chair height is easy to set. When you get your chair, it's usually in the lower position. All right, we're going to bring one seat half up. I'll show you about that. And you just use the pneumatic lift, the button, to kind of set it comfortable. One leg standing, one leg sitting. The footrest, I didn't mention this before, the footrest is adjustable up and down and forward and back. So you can kind of set that where you need it. And the backrest, of course, is also adjustable. So you can kind of nudge it to the position where it fits right in the lumbar and kind of feels really nice for leaning back. And then how does the chair work? Pretty simple. The motors aren't that strong, so they won't hurt you. They're just there to move the seat and reposition the seat. And if you're not going to move, it'll give up after a few seconds. And then the reverse, once it comes up and locks, if you're sitting on it, but you ask for it to go down, I just tap the button. It doesn't go down only when I kind of say I'm ready. And that's the interaction with the chair for that. So once you're aboard and you've got it all going, there are these buttons on the sides, and it's really easy to step up into a flamingo posture. You can alternate, come up and down on these. That's how that works. And there's a fancy feature, which is responsive control, where you can just sort of prompt the chair to start moving, and it does it for you. And of course, you know, sitting is nice to have, and I usually have it in the rotation, but I just, you know, add a couple minutes of sitting, and I get prompted for the next posture. So that's kind of the quick and easy onboarding of the chair. So let's see. All right. So for those who saw the first demo and get a kind of a repeat. Okay. Now we're going to try for questions.
Yeah, we're ready.
And if you notice, almost everybody does this. You can freestand, and I usually do this a little bit, but everybody loves the lean. It's just so comfortable. It takes some load off your back. It's really easy to do a little stretch and so on. So we have a question. We can tag team, Jose. Do you want to?
Yeah, I think you should go take this one.
Okay. All right. So the question is, does the chair swivel or rotate so I can use my multi-screen setup? And that's a really good question. We've definitely talked about it a lot. With the chair, it does kind of create this one workspace where you want to have everything set up right ergonomically. There's probably a case where someone might have a screen off to the side where they use it for some other task, if they have an L-shaped desk or something. So options for that are, the chair has two wheels on the back, and it's really easy to rotate. You just, if you're going to do an hour of work over there, you just rotate over and go do that. You know, I was thinking, what are the other kind of thoughts that, why do we do this? One is safety, right? So the chair is kind of an integrated system to solve this problem of moving while we work. But I think another thing is, anytime we can prompt a movement otherwise, we want that. So if you're going to change position to use a computer on the side, boy, that swivel is kind of working against you. You're not going to move. You're not going to stand up. You're not going to do absolutely anything. So now yes, you're going to do a little bit more in that case, but that's okay. Actually, we want a little bit more movement, especially those times when you can interrupt your focus, when you're shifting a job from one thing to the other.
Maybe I talk a little bit about the height restrictions.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually the height, while we say the height, and I believe that's 5 feet, 5'2" inches.
5'2", I think. Yeah.
5'2". That height is, it's a little bit nuanced because actually it's your leg length, right? So if Mark is in flamingo mode, I don't know if you want to go into flamingo mode, Mark,
yeah.
but you can demonstrate it. Really it's the length of your leg that really matters here. And for some people who are 5 foot tall, have long legs, it'll fit them. I think the shortest we fit is someone that was 4'11".
There was a 4'11" person.
Yeah.
We had trying it and it was fine.
So I think we should release more information about leg lengths and perhaps a measurement guide to know whether you will fit or not fit, because you can take that chair pretty low.
Yeah, and I'm not that tall. I'm about 5'10" and a half.
Yeah.
But theoretically, a person could, I don't know what height this is, but it has a pretty good range. We picked 5'2" just to kind of be safe to not disappoint people. But we can get more precise, I think, when we get those measurements out.
Yeah. And that's true, yeah, for tall end too. So someone who is 6'3", but has a longer torso, shorter legs, might fit the chair well too.
So we have another question about, so there are ergonomic reasons. I know there are ergonomic reasons not to have armrests, but might that be an option in the future? So maybe we're going to think about that. We've actually got designs where we included some armrests as little flares and things like that, and it's kind of interesting. The chair does so much with your posture, and one of the things it does is that when we make these posture changes, right, we're using our hip muscles, glutes, abs. All of these are kind of triggered just briefly, and that kind of works its way up, and your whole body had this little movement. So we think we're also kind of helping on all of those fronts. If we put full armrests, now we've got to kind of add cost and difficulty, perhaps not for as much win as we'd like in the beginning. But we're definitely something we're going to think about, is how we can keep going with this and introduce things like that.
Yeah, it's the risk of falling over backwards is a good concern, and you can lean back on it pretty well. But I think just like any, child, I think you stop doing this as a child, but of course you can really force yourself back. But then you will, the chair it's robust and you really can't tip over. If you really, really, really tried, I think like anything, you can tip over on anything. But
yeah, it's been designed so that all of your weight, your center of mass, is on the platform, and the platform is what makes the chair stable. So even if you lean back, you see I'm kind of still on top of our platform. So it's your setup, right? It doesn't budge. Once you try that. All right. We have a question on the footrest length, expandable and side to side. So I'm gonna climb under my desk. I just climb under the desk and may not see it, but there's a button under here, under the footrest portion of the Brad, and that's a release, and we can adjust the height of the footrest. So that part, that's the height. Likewise, there's a button on the base which lets you slide the footrest in and out. I don't know, now I'm getting into trouble here. I got the chair, talk to the chair to move. But there's a button to move the footrest in and out. So let's see. So that's that. And then the footrest isn't further expandable because it's kind of plenty for for its purpose to kind of serve as a place to park your foot at this point.
And then the base, right, that you were on just now was casted aluminum. So it's this nice anchor point that really supports the frame, the chair, so preventing it from tipping over.
And then,
Yeah.
actually, do you want to take the next one about the materials used in the frame to support the
Yeah,
chair's
yeah,
durability?
yeah. So the chair is made from aluminum, casted aluminum for the base, and then for the footrest and column, it's made out of 600 series aluminum, so extruded aluminum, similar to bicycles use that kind of aluminum, so really strong, sturdy frame. And then the seats that Mark is sitting on, it's polymer, a strong polymer with glass fiber reinforcement, and that's supported from a steel centerpiece, which the seats rely on. So it's a very strong chair that will last a while too, for all this motion that we will be putting on it.
I think people, I think been iterating on this. I think 6 iterations, probably over 3 years now. And a lot of that was to work through choosing the materials, the strengths to support all the requirements. And chairs are really important products. And then we have a question about our weight limit and how that works, and is this suggested or real? So it's a new product, and we've kind of designed it to like an intense high load because we wanted to kind of start there. And we've already done some testing with industry testing where they create this really extreme condition, which we ran through, and the chair held up great. What we're doing for the launch is we're sort of limiting to 275 pounds as a suggested weight limit, because you take into account all the other things about the maximum height and this weight. We figure that's a good place to kind of stop for now until we kind of finish all the thorough testing, and we may update that later once we kind of have more formal testing results. Right, and the footrest, there's a question, is it soft? So you notice I am in socks because I'm working at home. So sorry if I offend somebody. So the footrest is kind of a firm plastic, and we've had people try it, and we've had suggestions. Could we upholster and cushion it? So actually, we're planning to have a kind of a premium upholstered version where we'll have an option where you can have some cushioning on the footrest and the backrest. The chair works great and it's very comfortable now, but why not also have that little bit extra comfort option?
Yeah. I guess we could talk a little bit about, most office chairs have a 250-pound weight limit. So we're doing 275, which hope to make this chair for as many and accessible to many as possible.
Yeah, and we'll keep going too. We'll definitely keep working to extend that. All right. Oh, great. So we got a question about one of my favorite topics. Cut me off, our team here, if I go too long. But it's about our Waterloo study and about, what our chair does versus kind of health and so on. And I'll try to keep it short. When we started this, we kind of liked the idea and we had some confidence that it worked. But we were really asking the question, how do we really establish and prove that this is helpful? And we did a lot of looking around, and we found the group at University of Waterloo who kind of still extensively do chair research, which is kind of a rare field. But they've tested every chair and they have every kind of approach to doing this. And when I reached out to them, I said, well, what can we show about how does a chair affect our health? And I remember the first comment was, Dr. Callaghan up there said something like, well, Mark, chairs cause harm over years and decades, and proving otherwise is not easy. And I was just almost heartbroken, like, we had to prove this. So then he said, but we've got a way. And basically it's this canary in the coal mine approach, where they've tested so many people over years. They know people that are more sensitive to sitting. They call them back each time they need to test a new chair. And that's what we did with them, where we brought in a total of 16 people, and they went through using our chair for 2 hours one day and sitting in a really nicely adjusted ergonomic chair another day. And another day they came in and stood and worked and measured all of that. And to cut to the chase, I think they said it was the first time they've ever seen an outcome this strong, where every single participant had no discomfort, only in our chair. So that was kind of an exciting kind of proof that we were onto something here. And it's really just movement, right? It's just that if you can move every 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, just a little more often, we kind of can get away from a lot of these problems. Let's see. Great. There's a question about a payment plan, and a number of people have asked about that. And I could just say that we are still working on it. We expect to have some kind of option that works in Indiegogo, but also kind of makes a payment plan possible. So stay tuned. I think there'll be details in the VIP group and so on to kind of find out how that goes. We'll have more on that soon. All right.
Okay, are we done, or are we?
Oh, I think there's a last question. Someone joined late. When's this expected to ship? And if we reserve, will it be shipped sooner? So I think the way it works is there's a priority. All of the early bird supporters are going to be at the top of the list. And our target date is July. So we're kind of working with our manufacturers now. Jose and I are in the middle of finishing our pre-production batch. It's the chairs that go out to all the testing and all of that, and they're working really well. So we have good confidence. So July for shipping, and yes, we'll keep you at the top of the list for your support. So I think that's it. I think we're going to run out of time. So we will wrap up our session here. Want to share that we are launching on Indiegogo on October 24th. Love it if you could tell your friends and share the news. This is kind of our chance to kind of get this very new project of love, I think, out to the public. So thank you.